Good afternoon, viewer. Thank you for joining us. This is Nigeria Now, and I am Sambo Solomon. Today with me, I have Joyce Ijakada on the show. Joyce, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sambo Solomon, and good afternoon to our viewers. As always, it's a privilege. It's a fresh start. It's Monday.
Yes.
Can we say thank God it's Monday?
Thank God it's Monday. And you know, Monday is always hectic because you're coming out from the weekend, you know, and then the system adjusted to maybe the period which you have given whether to rest or something.
You know,
I
watched a video that's like, you know, Fridays, people say, thank God it's Friday because of the Saturday, Sunday rest, even though it's different for us here, you know.
Sure.
So it was already Sunday and it was Monday morning, and then the person wanted to still sleep, and then here comes office dragging and while he's pulling back and squeezing face, office was still dragging. Like, we have to be here, and then it's a privilege for us, it's an opportunity for us to talk, to look at some of the challenges that are facing our country, not just to talk about them but to provide solutions. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, Joyce. And for the viewer there, we are live on YouTube and Facebook, so do well to join us, and then let's discuss together. Like she's talking about Monday. Some people will say I hate Monday, but for us, we love Mondays because we know after the weekend we have to come and then we have to do this show together. We are always anticipating to connect with you guys. So thank you for joining us. And today, you know, we have what really is happening now. You know, is the campaign season. The gladiators are crisscrossing the country, you know, and then trying to receive endorsement from here and there, and then, you know, counter allegations, you know, allegations and counter allegations. Everybody trying to sell for the spokespersons, everybody trying to sell his candidate, everybody wants to sell his party. And that is what has been going on, you know, throughout the weekend. We hear about the Tinubu visit to the former leader of Afenifere, you know, and then he endorsed him, and then the controversies that is coming out from there, like this one is not the current leader, and then the campaign organization are putting it as if is the Afenifere leader, you know, that endorsed him. So people are just trying to get clarification. Okay, is he now the leader? If he's not the leader, does it mean that he's on behalf of the present acting leader now that is endorsing? And then the present acting leader is was not there, the secretary was not there, and some key people, you know, of the leadership of Afenifere are not there, and that's just what is trending.
You know, when you talk about Nigeria now, like you said, the atmosphere is just filled with activities that is geared towards the 2023 elections. Like you see aspirants moving from one place to the other, trying to seek for affirmation or endorsement. And like you rightly said, during the weekend, we saw how the APC presidential flag bearer talking about Alhaji Ahmed Tinubu, Bola Tinubu, sorry. He was seen with the Pa Fasoranti, and then he prayed for him actually. And beyond the prayers, he laid hands on him, and what he said was that in 2023, he's going to become the president, and it was all over. Afenifere endorsed Tinubu, and you recall that the leader Adebanjo, like, was not with APC 2015, 2019. He always stood for what he believes in. And, you know, some people will tell you, we thought Adebanjo showed his support for Peter Obi and all of that. And just recently, again, we are seeing Tinubu with Pa Fasoranti. But like I would say, in order to cut all these arguments and then controversies, I think the leadership of Afenifere should be able to come out and then clarify what their stand, because most people will tell you Pa Fasoranti is not the leader of Afenifere. So whatever he says cannot be quoted as Afenifere endorsing Tinubu. So I think it is important that they come out with statement to show that. But let me tell you something, Sambo Solomon. Since the campaign started, presidential campaign, we've seen how these people kept traveling, appearing before even group of people, association, to make speeches and talk about issues that are affecting the nation. And you agree with me, that is what Nigerians are looking after. Like, it's not about an individual endorsing anybody or a particular group endorsing. 2023 general election is going to determine who becomes the president, far beyond anybody laying hands on you or saying you're going to become the president in 2023. It is not up to one person to decide. It is not up to a particular region as well to decide, but it is up to Nigerians to decide who rules them. And like we always say, it should be based on issues. What are the challenges facing Nigeria in terms of insecurity, in terms of unemployment, out of school? What about the policies we keep seeing? Like, what do these people have to bring to bear? Like, I think it's even enough of us talking about hearing people just basing their campaigns on just the president or the presidential aspirant. We have members of National Assemblies. There are people that are actually contesting for all these other positions. I think people should be aware that these people are people's positions are also key. We shouldn't be quick to forget that, oh, it's just about the president. And then you hear some people will tell you they will just vote for president, and the other elections they won't participate, like the other seats, National Assembly, State House of Assembly, governors, and they will tell you they don't care. Like, I'm just living in Plateau State, so whoever they want, because I'm not from Plateau State, the people should vote. No, for the fact that you're living in the state, whatever policy at the end of the day that those members of State House of Assembly will take, it will definitely affect you. So as we even look forward to 2023, as we see these gladiators moving around, going from state to state, let's start asking them questions. We don't want to be, it's far beyond, oh, this person has declared already that this person, no, they are not the determinant. So as they move about, as they come to us to ask for our vote, let's start asking them, oh, what do you have to do? What would you do about the agitation in the Southeast? These people have always talked about the fact that they have been sidelined in appointment and other things, and it has been bringing problem. Because of that, we've been having sit at home. And then that sit at home, we keep losing billions of naira. So what do you intend to do about these agitations? When you come to the north, we have out of school children. What do you intend to do about that? What about the issue of banditry and Boko Haram? Let's begin to ask questions on that. And like I said, these are people that at the end of the day will sit down and make policies. They make laws far beyond precedent. The members of the National Assembly will sit down. And recently, we're talking about the fact that members of the National Assembly were accusing members of State House of Assembly of not looking at all the bills they sent to them. Like, out of only 11 states actually considered it and made their own stand. But the 25 states have not said anything about it. Instead, they are giving more laws that it has to be included in the bills before. So all these positions, as we look for 2023, they are actually key. And I think it's important that we look out for people that are humanity-driven, like I always say, people that have the interests of the people at heart, people that want to serve rather than just come and then accumulate wealth for themselves.
Don't you think this issue of endorsement is a culture in Nigeria? Because since 1999, you know, that has been happening. You know, you see people going around the country, seeing the former president, former military administrators, you know, opinion leaders here and there, traditional rulers, you know, seeking for their opinion because they feel they have a great influence. And like we said earlier, we said we are looking for something different. And this 2023 that is coming, do you really see like something different is coming from this thing that we are seeing? Because to me, it's just like the usual thing, aside the youth angle of the movement, that the youth are really now looking out for somebody that they feel can give them hope in this country, someone they think will give them the Nigeria of their dream, that everybody will be inclusive, you know, in the system. I doubt too much What do you think? That's just my thing. Because if somebody will go to the former leader of Afenifere, one thing that I was concerned, I was looking at age. Because these politicians, there's something that they do. They said once you are a leader, they believe you control a certain level of command, that you will just say, hey, you vote this person, and everybody will just follow, whether it's good or bad. And that thing has affected us seriously, because that's the reason why we are the reason why we are where we are, as a nation. What's your take?
Well, if you ask me, like you said, it's more like a culture that once you are vying for a position, there are some key people that you need to, like, people visit, and beyond even just going to see them so that
endorsement and consultation
and all of that.
Yeah.
Well, for some people, like, they use the word consultation. They want to hear from them, hear their opinions, tell them what they have to bring to bear. You can't take away the fact that these people are influential. They are like past leaders in certain community. When you go, let's say the head of the community, where you go to a state, the governor, like, the people appointed him based on trust. And because they trust him, they will hear whatever he says. And that is why if you're coming out for a position like president, of course, you want vote from, for example, Plateau State, there must be like courtesy visit to the governor of Plateau State. And there you see people even visiting traditional rulers. That's because they believe in the power that they have to influence their people. Because for them to elect you as a leader, or one time this, one time that means they actually believed in you. That means if you call them, you're able to talk to them and they will hear you. Like, most of these leaders have followers, if you ask me. And that is the reason why most of these presidential candidates and other people vying for other positions, you always see once the campaign period is open, people keep visiting, and then far beyond just visitation, they go to tell them why you should vote me. This is what I'm bringing to the table. By so doing, the person will also convince his followers that, well, I think maybe in advising them, you can say, based on this is what this person has brought, and then I think this is what he's going to do. Having listened to, that's why you see that in a particular state, it won't be one person. Everybody is coming to see the same person. Now it's left for the leader to judge for himself based on what this person brought to the table. I'm not talking about monies. I'm talking about ideas, creativity, based on what his interaction, he thinks this person is it. And then by the time he sees that, you see that his followers
will tilt towards that direction.
And I think that is why people do that. But it becomes a problem when it's about godfatherism. That the person sponsors you, everything, your travels, your campaign, just so at the end of the day, he tell you what to do.
Because the reason why I asked that, I want to say something. Don't you think is about their own personal interest? Because these people that even the masses have entrusted them with some certain responsibility, whether former or they are still serving, you find out that most times it's their bidding that they do. Because you find out that maybe a traditional ruler will tell you that you should vote A, because A have promised him something that is only him that knows, but he is using the masses to do the trading. You understand? At the end of the day, maybe whether it goes wrong, as long as he receives his package or whatever promises, the people are crying, the person will never say anything. Even if the person that he endorses and said, go and do this person, you hardly hear during the regime of the person, such people are saying something contrary. That's the angle.
I understand your point, Sambo Solomon. I think in this case, it's left for the people to set agendas for the incoming or be people that are actually vying for the position. It is left to us to set the agendas for them. Like I said earlier on, when they come, beyond even seeing those traditional leaders, the governors and other stakeholders, they will still come to the people. So you need to set agenda for these people. Ask them questions on issues. Like, it's not about dancing, clapping hands, like I always say, or wearing Ankara t-shirts and all of that. Set agendas for these people. Ask them questions. And when you ask them questions, like, be keen to listen to what they are.
Take notes.
Yeah, if possible, take notes. Like, we can't continue in this trajectory. Your prime, he comes today, give you 20 million, gives you 10 million. You won't be able to ask him that question.
You're right.
So we need to reduce our expectations and start holding these people accountable. When we do the right thing, like posterity will clap for us.
Sure.
They will clap for us and they won't forget.
When we do the right thing, posterity will clap for us. That is very true. I want to advise Nigerians out there, it is not time now to go back to the normal way we used to do things, because the truth of the whole matter is that you can't keep doing the same thing and then expect a different result. So it is high time to know that previous years we have entrusted our faith to people that we say they are religious leaders, they are community leaders. We give them their trust. They tell us, and we'll keep crying for what we are going through now as a nation. So it is high time. That is why your voters' card is not a individually. We will go and do the right thing and make the voting. And you have voted them in. And now some of them are in, some are out. You check that we should know that 2023 is coming. We should change the narrative. Talking about the issue of election that is coming, or security threat, the one that the UK government and then out of this country because of the issue of security threat. There are a series of arrests, and still yet their normal business is fake. The media should stop spreading fake news. In this kind of environment, we are not seeing.
I will tell you that the lack of synergy alone, in terms of we have seen that withdraw their staff heading to that boarded a transport from Jos heading to Anambra, and then kidnappers called and demanding 50 million on each person. Alert. No, like we said last week, I think it's far beyond just coming out and then debunking security reports. I think it's important that we see international relations taking place. Let's see questions asked. Like I said, when the minister said it is misleading, what empirical data do you have to prove that these people have intelligent attaché in this nation, and it is through them that they gather that data that they said actually there is security threat in Abuja, people should be careful. UK Commission had talked about Borno, Kano and other states. They mentioned that people have to be careful. The information was actually to their staff and not to Nigerians, but because you know how that Nigerians have faced a lot of issues, challenges in terms of insecurity, a lot of people took that information serious because they can't sleep on it. And that's why we saw that malls were closed in Abuja. Some school actually went online, and then people are just living. Some people didn't even go out of their house since that report came in. Nobody wants to be taken unaware. But what is more important for Nigerians is what is the government doing about that report? Because we don't want reactive measures that when it has happened, that's when we start saying our men are on ground, people should go about their normal activity. No, we don't want to lose even one life. We saw how one person was kidnapped from the United States, and then here around Africa he was kidnapped, and then they had to, US Army followed, they came, US government came, followed, rescued him before the information was even passed. One person. That's to tell you how these people are precautionary, how they take the issue of security very serious, how they value life. Because of one person. In our own climb, you see that if people are kidnapped, they will be there for months, and then conversation continues to go out. Sambo Solomon, as we're talking, there's a policy currently talking about it. The government have come up to say that one of the reasons is the fact that they want to curb hoarding of money, and to also monitor this kidnap for ransom. They will be able to curb it. But do you know, amidst this is another, we're hearing Sheikh Gumi coming out to say that, no, when you do that, it's going to compound issues. Like these kidnappers will resort to asking for dollars. And I ask, is it about the kidnappers? Is it about the bandits? Or about the interests of Nigerians? Like, why are we so, like, look at how quick you're coming out to talk, like, on what ground, on what basis? And with all this security information, you expect that Nigerians fold their arms. I think it's important that we see our government, in terms of information coming like this, meet with these people, make use of your international relations.
That spoke and then he's saying what he's saying, and then you
Nigerians to decide who rule them, who becomes their leader. Like, it's up to us to change this trajectory of bad leadership, of impunity. And how can we do that? Let's begin to set agenda by asking the right question. When we ask the right question, we'll get solutions to our problem. And then when leaders are sincere, then we'll get the change that we desire. And how can leaders be sincere? When we elect them, the right people on ground. And when we elect the right people, things will change for a better.
Sure.
Well, as we look forward to 2023, let's do the needful. Let's set agendas for these people on the basis of right questions. And when we do that, posterity will thank us.
Thank you, Joyce, for doing this with me today.
It's always my pleasure.
I appreciate. For the viewer out there, thank you for your comment. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for you choosing Ekwa TV to be with us at this moment. There will be more programs